Hi, I'm Jennifer Folsom. I'm the Chief of Corporate Development here at Summit Consulting. I'm here to introduce Frank Vetrano, who has recently joined us as a director in our mortgage finance practice. Welcome, Frank.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad to be here, and I'm pretty excited about the opportunities here.
Tell me a little bit about your professional life before you joined Summit.
I have been pretty much doing what I like to do for the last 30 years. I'm not sure a lot of people can say that. I didn't start out thinking I would become an expert in mortgage credit or mortgage investments.
That's not a major in undergrad?
It's not a major in undergrad, and it really is something you have to work at a little bit. I learned a lot of the craft during my years at Freddie Mac, but every assignment I've had, every place I've been has added to the lessons I learned.
And so tell me about a particular part of mortgage finance industry that you're interested in.
Well, I did start talking about mortgage credit, but just in general, I've always been interested in credit as an investment, and it's helped me, it served me well. I've been on both sides. I've been an investor, and I have been, if you will, a risk person. But I've always maintained the same view in terms of, geez, which side of the bet would I like to be on? And whether it's through pricing or whether it's through changing the credit box, how could I change it so that if it's not where I want to be, that it's something that is acceptable to me.
And is there a certain project you've worked on or a job that you've had that's taught you kind of an unexpected lesson?
I had a couple where there's similar types of lessons. One at Radian and one at FHA, where the job was, in both cases, the portfolios were stressed, and there were questions of what can we do to try to hurry a turnaround. And after doing the analysis and making the case, the one thing that I was tempted to do is say, well, what's feasible, And fortunately, I did not go down that path and just say, because I just said these are the things you have to do, and they're hard. And I did not expect in either case that the management would come through and say, yes, we're going to do that. But in both cases they did. So the lesson to me was don't anticipate, let the data guide you, and then let the chips fall where they should.
What's one thing about the mortgage finance industry that you think most people don't know, something that you might find very compelling?
I think most folks don't realize what a gift the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is.
What do you mean by that?
Most countries, and indeed the United States until the Great Depression, you got different kinds of mortgages, balloons, ARMs, and the thing that's different about the 30-year fixed rate mortgage that I think people know but don't appreciate how different it is that the borrower has all the options. And so essentially, from the way I look at it, big picture, is that policymakers have said, look, individual borrowers aren't able to manage this interest rate risk as well as the financial markets. So we're going to take this risk, we're going to take it off the borrower's back and challenge the financial industry with trying to manage it. And to me, a lot of the innovations, the thing that makes the U.S. mortgage market different from everything else, comes from that fact. We have a 30-year mortgage, and how does the system work to hedge that risk, to manage that risk? So as a result, you get securitization, you get CMO, you get a whole bunch of cool things.
What's CMO again?
A CMO is a good question, is a way to structure cash flows, the way I like to describe it. And again, I'm going to date myself with this analogy. Frank Vetrano discovered a long time ago that if you sell the legs and the breasts and the wings, you can get more for the pieces than you can for the entire chicken. And that's essentially what happens with a CMO, is you're taking cash flows from a mortgage, Some of them are, as a whole, there aren't a whole lot of investors that can do that, but if you can chunk it up into pieces where different investors are good at it, say money manager likes, 3-month money, right?
Right.
You can take mortgage flows and create something for that guy to invest in. So that's one of the innovations that comes out because the market is trying to hedge interest rate risk.
Got it. What's one thing that people might not know about you? What would they not find on your LinkedIn profile? Is there a secret Frank Vetrano skill or superpower?
I don't know if it's a skill or a superpower. I'm pretty active. I bike a lot. I'm trying to learn how to row on the water without drowning. Those are the kinds of things that I do to keep myself amused when I'm not thinking about mortgages.
Good. Well, thank you, Frank. We're glad to have you.
All right, well, thank you. Glad to be here.